Greetings, everybody. This is Brother Kevin with Forgiveness Ministry for those people on YouTube, but also for my fellow brothers and sisters out there, Christ Forgiveness Ministry. I was just in a bad car accident yesterday, and this is my vehicle that was totaled, and it happened on the interstate, and it was a really bad one. I mean, I was in the far right, far left lane, and when I'm at my business right now, so when I did end up hitting, hold on one second, and the airbags actually deployed, everything. That's the inside of my car. The door panel is off, and just everything just really messed up on it. Praise the Lord that I'm fine. It was really an act of God that really, I know that God saved my life, and I was if you could imagine being on the interstate, and let me back up a little bit. So I had a problem with my left. I didn't know it was my left wheel. There was something, every time I hit a bump, it would jerk to the left or to the right instantly. So it was something, I knew something was wrong with it. And I was like, I gotta get it fixed. And so just waiting on the money to come in. And so it wasn't that I was trying to put it off. And I just didn't know how much it was gonna cost to get it fixed. So I was waiting for a little bit extra money to come in. Had some money, but I didn't think it was enough. And so I was leaving my work site, and as I was leaving my work site, it was I ended up entering the interstate. And when I did enter the interstate, I ended up merging into the left lane, and I was probably about and I was probably about at 60 miles an hour. The interstate, it's you could go up to 65 miles an hour. So I was trying to increase speed and to get in the left lane, and the far left lane. And so I was about to enter the left lane, and as I was doing it, this dump truck had these rocks. You know how it has these gravel rocks and stuff that be in those beds of the truck, the dumpster part of it. And so I ended up seeing these rocks falling from the back of the truck, and as it was falling, I wasn't concerned at first. I was, I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope this doesn't hit my windshield. And so I'm like, but then I see all these rocks just started coming towards my windshield. So when I saw that it was going to hit my windshield, it was like several big chunks of rocks. Probably each rock was maybe something like that big. So I mean, that was a big chunk of rocks, along with some of the little rocks, little chunks. But you know, you know what a little a little small rock can do to your windshield. All it takes is just a little rock to really do some damage to your windshield and crack it, or leave a chip in there that can eventually work its way into cracking or breaking your windshield. And so I didn't want that to happen. So at the same time, I had forgotten all about the excuse me for a second, I'm trying to make an adjustment. So I had forgotten all about the this, what do you call it, the tire, the wheel having that issue. So these rocks are coming right at me. They're flying. They're about to hit my windshield. I mean, several of them, not just one, but several of them, and they're coming right at me. So I swerved the car. I just swerved a little bit, but because I had that wheel issue, the car, because like I said, when you hit a bump, the car go boom, you straighten back out. But then in this case, it as soon as I swerve a little bit to try and miss it, my car went whoom, 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 and then it locked. Not my steering wheel, but the wheel itself. It locked right into position, and it was turned this way, so it's turned towards the right. Now I'm in the far left lane, and all of a sudden, you got all these cars. They're passing me. I'm going like I was going maybe about approaching 65 miles an hour right before this happened, and cars was passing me like this. So that tells you how fast they were going. If I was almost at 65 miles per hour, and so and I'm talking about between all size vehicles, including trucks. Trucks maybe not passing me like that, but they would pass me like this, some of them. So, but my car, when it locked the wheel into that position, and it was only the left that it turned out it was the left wheel. The other one was straight, but the other one, the left, the driver wheel was locked into the right, not left, right, like this. And it took me right into the oncoming traffic, and I'm trying to straighten it up, and it's just turning. It's turning. And I just missed hitting this other car, and these other cars that was right there beside me, they saw what was going on, thank God, and they started slowing down. But I was going right into the far right lane, and I had apparently just was coming up on this bridge, and this or overpass, over whatever you want to call it, but I was getting ready. If this is the wall, it was curving like this, and I was getting ready to hit that. And if I had hit it like this, either one or two things would have happened. I would have went through that thing. It was just on a 3-foot concrete wall, so either I was going to go through it and down, or it would have hit and flipped over that wall, one or the other, at the speed that I was going. And so, but I tell you, I know it's God because right upon, and I knew I was going to hit. I was like, oh my God, because I knew it was out of my control, and then I was just thinking, I can't do anything. But I was calm. I was at peace with everything. I wasn't panicking, and I just was, whatever happens, happened, and instantly, right before the impact of that wall, my car went boom like that, and then it bounced it to where my car, it was facing the traffic is going like this, and when it hit that wall, I was facing this way, and it went boom, and it turned all the way around the way the traffic was going, and I was partly in the emergency lane and partly in the first lane. And so here's the another amazing thing. We have in Memphis TDOT. I guess they like the size of an ambulance, and they go around and they check the highways, the freeways, and see if there's any stranded cars, any cars that are broken down or anything like that. And they either help people that is there, or they would put a ticket or something on the car to let the police know that this vehicle is going to need towed if it's been there for a while. So they were right there in front of me, already there, and dealing with another car that was abandoned. And when I had stopped, I just noticed they was there, and I was in my mind, I was like, oh my Lord, I'm like, am I all right? I'm like, and the T-Dot guy came running, come to the car, and he was like, are you okay? Are you all right? And I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, moving my legs. I'm like, because he was like, do I need to call the ambulance? Do I need to call the ambulance? I'm like, I don't know. And then so I started doing those things and trying to see if I'm fine. And I said, well, I think I'm fine. You don't have to call the ambulance, and I think I'm all right. And he said, well, pull the rest of your car out of the street if you can. See if you can start. I was able to start it up, and it barely got out of the street, out of the freeway, rather, onto the emergency lane. And when he left, and so I was like thanking the Lord, and then I got out of the car, and I realized just how bad the car was. It was like you just saw, and so then I decided, let me walk down to where I hit and see what's on the other side of that wall. And when I looked on the other side of that 3-foot high wall, it was a 50-foot drop down with railroad tracks right under the bridge. And had I went over that bridge, oh my Lord, praise the Lord, that didn't happen, because I know that I would have been dead. I know that, unless the angels of mercy would have caught the vehicle somehow and put it the right way to where I would survive, other than that, it's no way I would have survived that, and but thank God. I always say thank God for God, man. He had my back, and that didn't happen, because I could have not been here. I know I would have died, and had that happened, unless, like I said, God sent his angels, or God himself, spoke that thing to not, put me in a bad position. It's just a miracle. It's just a miracle how it all happened, evading all that traffic, and still, being not a scratch on me. I don't have not one scratch, no issues that I can see or tell. you know, it's just amazing that I'm still here. So I praise the Lord. I thank God for it. And I just wanted to share this message with you all and let you know that, hey, God still got his people. God is still, we still got a mission to go out there and preach the gospel to every person that has fallen, or every sinner that is out there that needs to come back, or that needs to come up out of their sin. We still got a mission, and for God's kingdom, bring people into his kingdom so that people can be saved, people can be delivered, people can be set free. And whomever the Lord set free is free indeed. So I just thank the Lord for his grace and his mercy, for his grace endures forever. And so, I just praise the Lord, and I just want to share this with you. So God bless you.